it wasn't like I was jumping to everything he said. I mean, I could have a disagreement with him, but I couldn't have a full-blown argument with him.
Okay. How do you think your childhood experiences prepared you for romantic love relationships? For example, did they affect whether you chose to marry, how you chose your husband or partner, or how you manage your adult love relationships?
Well, we're not married. Me and Steve are not married. I don't want to get married. It's not something I want to do. He's been married before, so I've already been with him 13, 14 years and given him 4 children. As far as I'm concerned, that's a marriage. I don't need the wedding band and the big day. In regards to choosing my partner, I think my mother and father's marriage did affect that, because obviously I grew up with domestic violence. We have had domestic violence a long time ago between me and my partner. It's all stopped now. He stopped drinking because he was an alcoholic. So maybe I could have chose a bit better, but at the time, that's what it was.
Thinking about your life now, do you have a partner?
Yeah, I do. He takes everything I throw at him, really. If I'm having a bad day and I just react like my mum and dad used to react, shout and swear and bang things about, he might shout and swear and storm off, but we always resolve the situation, whereas my parents never did. It was always lingering in the background.
How do you feel when you separate from your partner?
It can be lonely at times. I am a little bit clingy. A little bit. Sometimes it's actually a relief. It's nice to have your own space, isn't it? So, but most of the time it's kind of like, oh, you're twiddling your thumbs. When's he coming home?
How do you feel when you separate from your children?
It's kind of the same situation, really. Obviously, I've got a teenager who's nearly 13 now. And we're having to loosen the leash on him a bit more, let him have a little bit more space, a little bit more responsibility, because he's going through that stage. But in regards to my baby, my youngest, I do feel like I've lost an arm when he's not in the same room as me, because I'm used to having him there all the time.
Okay, so thinking over all that you've told me, what do you think you've learned from your experience as a child?
That nobody's perfect. Everyone has their flaws. No parent is perfect either. Not to put too much pressure on myself to be the perfect parent, because there is no such thing as a perfect parent, a perfect person even. Over the last 2 years as such, because I've done various courses to boost confidence, I've learned also to be confident in my own self-esteem, my own well-being, what I'm capable of doing, not to compare myself, and also to be confident in my relationship. Now my partner has packed up the drink, the violence is stopped, we're moving forward in a positive way. That's how I feel about it. The life lessons I learned back as a child, what I experienced, what I saw, have prepared me for what's to come with my teenager, so to speak. How I can use some of the skills that my dad actually did have in a case to authority, but twig them so they're not so abrupt.
Okay. Now that you're an adult, are there any things that you wish to do with your children that are different from what your parents did?
Discipline, slightly different. I was brought up in a very strict manner, and I believe that my children should be brought up in a strict manner. Not belted, not beaten, not smacked. But kind of like my mum did, I have a tone. When the tone changes, they kind of know. Matthew's battling at the moment. He's rebelling against me, which I'm finding quite difficult. Well, we both are, me and Steve. But that's a new phase. I've not ever had a teenager before. None of my friends ever had a teenager before. A lot of my friends that I go back to for advice and, oh, how have you done this? They're in the same boat as me. We've got children the same age, going through the same stuff. So, past life, when I was growing up to what is now, I've grown up with that you need a network of people around you. Don't isolate yourself like I would have done about 5 years ago. I was going, oh my God, I can't cope with Matthew. I'm the only parent in the world going through this. Oh my God. No, I'm not the only parent. There's lots of people going through it. Talk. Keep the lines of communication open with adults and with your children. Even if your children don't want to talk to you, just talk to them. That's what I've done.
So I've been asking about your relationships with your parents as a child and up to now. Is there something more that you wish to add that's important to understand the adult you've become?
No. I'm still discovering myself. I'm still discovering what I'm capable of doing, what I'm incapable of doing. I have flaws. Every person has flaws. I'm not perfect. I don't try to be. So I'm still discovering what I'm capable of doing.
Okay. Sometimes after this sort of interview, you might find that you continue to think about these issues after the interview. If you find yourself feeling uncomfortable or thinking about them too much, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Okay.
And we can talk through it. But thank you so much for taking part in that, and apologies for the technical hitch in the middle.